Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee follows up with the work progress in a number of centers of operation management for coronavirus. 33 new confirmed cases with coronavirus COVID-19 is recorded, which brings the total number of registered in the Sultanate to 331, including 61 recoveries and 2 deaths. The death toll of COVID-19 worldwide exceeds 70,000. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee is following up with the national efforts to combat the pandemic. His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi made an inspection visit to various emergency management centers dealing with the virus. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rabai.
As part of the following the developments of coronavirus COVID-19 in the Sultanate, a number of the Supreme Committee members visited today the Directorate of the Ministry of Health to observe all measures that have been taken to curb COVID-19. The committee member chaired by His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Chairman of the Supreme Committee, visited the Directorate General of Diseases Surveillance and Control and briefed on the efforts exerted by the Ministry of Health Technical Committee concerned with tackling COVID-19 outbreak, along with the procedures that have been taken in the Sultanate in this regard. The Supreme Committee members also visited the Ministry of Health Emergency Management Center to recognize the role of the center, the local and regional epidemiological situation of the virus, as well as a sectorial response in dealing with various scenarios that may occur. Furthermore, the committee members visited the COVID-19 Operation Management Center located in the Higher College of Technology, Muscat, to identify the process of reporting the disease and entering the data in the Tarasud application. The committee members briefed on all sections of the center, that including prevention and infection control, health of points of entry, airports and ports, data management and epidemiological investigation, primary health care, support and promote health of isolated persons and the contacts, private establishment and studies and researches. In addition, the committee members visited the Department of Central Public Health Laboratories in Darsit. They viewed the process of receiving samples from health institutions over the Sultanate, where the samples are taken from mouth and nose, and a result will take 2 to 3 days. In case the result is positive, the center will contact the head of health institutions to inform the patient personally in order to take further information before starting the home isolation procedures. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rabai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The Ministry of Health announced 33 new confirmed cases with coronavirus COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 331, including 61 recoveries and 2 deaths. The Ministry of Health calls upon all to adhere to isolation procedures by staying in an isolated room with an attached toilet and serving the isolated person from outside the room as instructed. The ministry also advises all citizens and residents to keep on washing hands with water and soap, as well as avoiding touching the face, nose, mouth and eyes, and following the hygienic habits when coughing and sneezing. The ministry also urges everyone to adhere strictly to social distancing instructions issued by the COVID-19 Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health, as well as staying at home and not to go out unless absolutely necessary. New mechanisms developed by blood banks in various wilayas and governorates of the Sultanate that require prior coordination to reserve a date for the donation process. It is noteworthy that blood banks witnessed a decrease in the number of donors in light of spread of the coronavirus, which calls for the initiative to donate to contribute to the recovery of many patients and to enhance the stock of blood banks. The blood banks face serious challenges during this difficult period, with an increase in the operations that patients are supposed to conduct outside the Sultanate. This situation rearranged the blood donation mechanisms by setting a specific strategy that necessitates us to visit and get to know it closely under these circumstances. People who undergo medical operations and suffer from chronic diseases such as anemia and leukemia, in addition to those who were exposed to various accidents, are those most in need of blood. So we must take care of them humanly. Donating blood is contributed as saving the lives of thousands of patients and considered as a great merit in this world and the hereafter, which the Islam urges people to help others. The Almighty Allah said, "Whoever receives it is as if I greet all people." Sultan's armed forces, along with other bodies concerned, continue rendering all services, information and logistics support as part of the decisions of Supreme Committee dealing with the development of coronavirus COVID-19. The Sultan Armed Forces continues activating joint national work mechanisms between various states' military, civil and security bodies. Medical services at the Sultan Armed Forces exert tireless efforts to combat COVID-19 pandemic. Armed Forces Hospital in the Wilaya of Salalah started preparations early to combat COVID-19 by allocating special wards to sort the infected cases outside the emergency. It also built a specialized clinic outside the hospital to test all suspected cases. Armed Forces continue to coordinate with the Directorate General of Health and Armed Forces Hospital in the Governorate of Dhofar and render them with the latest preparations and precautionary measures being taken to combat this virus. The Royal Navy of Oman continues to deliver oil, condensates and basic life needs through Navy ships to the Governorate of Musandam. This comes within the Sultan Armed Forces efforts, along with other governmental bodies in the Sultanate, to minimize the impact resulted from the spread of COVID-19. Royal Oman Police continues to exert tireless efforts to manage the entry and exit in the Wilaya of Matrah in coordination with the bodies concerned as part of the precautionary measures of the Supreme Committee dealing with the development of coronavirus COVID-19. Royal Oman Police control through checkpoints the movement of those residing in Matrah after the implementation of isolation procedures in the Wilaya of Matrah. Royal Oman Police is keen to provide security coverage for the charity organizations and voluntary teams whose work is to deliver foodstuff for citizens and residents in the Wilaya of Matrah. Beside controlling traffic movement in the Wilaya, the Royal Oman Police also control inter-government checkpoints. Omani students who are studying abroad continued their studies remotely while they are currently in the Sultanate. Despite the institutional or home isolation of these students, they were keen to complete their curricula through technologies that these universities offer for their students with distance learning systems. Some of these students have faced many challenges, the most important of which is the time difference during broadcasting lectures at the headquarters of the universities where they study. Still to come in our news bulletin. In what is believed to be the first non-infection in an animal, a tiger at the Bronx Zoo in the U.S. tested positive for the new coronavirus.
عدم الالتزام بتوجيهات اللجنة العليا للتعامل مع فيروس كورونا يعرضك للخطر والمساءلة القانونية. حافظ على صحتك.
Welcome back to the news. Global deaths from the COVID-19 pandemic have soared past 60,000, with Europe continuing to bear the brunt of the virus, which has left roughly half the plant confined at home. According to a Johns Hopkins University tally, there are now more than 1.2 million confirmed cases across the globe, and around 65,000 people have died since the virus first emerged in China late last year. Over 45,000 people globally have died, and this is in Europe, with Britain reporting a new daily high fatalities, taking the overall toll to 4,300 out of nearly 42,000 cases. The total number of deaths in Spain now stand at 11,947, second only to Italy. New York State, the U.S. epicenter, saw a record 630 deaths in a single day, and Governor Andrew Cuomo warned the worst was yet to come. The state has recorded a total of 3,565 deaths. The trials of a drug called BCG, Bacillus Albert Guerin, comes from the names of the two bacteriologists involved in Albert Calmette and Camille Guerin, in the aim of boosting the immunity of health workers to enable them to continue working. In Australia, 4,000 healthy people will be given the vaccine. French scientists began developing the BCG in 1908, and it was introduced in 1921. BCG was not developed to attack the new coronavirus, but it can boost the immune system to fight viruses, according to the lead researcher of the trial called BRACE in Australia. Professor Nigel Curtis, an infectious disease specialist at Australia's Murdoch Children's Research Institute and Melbourne University, said that the BCG vaccine is able to boost the immune system. It is, in fact, trains the part of the immune system that's called the innate immune system, and this is the frontline defense of the body against a variety of different infections. And so what we're using this vaccine for this ability to strengthen the defense against all different infections, including viruses. Russian medical teams installed 20 ventilators today at the field hospital set up by Italy's Fountain Infantry in coronavirus-hit Bergamo, and planned to install 15 more. The field hospital, with 142 beds, will host the first patients from today and will be operated by 200 medical experts from Russia and Italy. The Russian mission to Italy began after President Vladimir Putin offered the aid in telephone conversation with Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte on March 21st. For most people, the new coronavirus causes mild to moderate symptoms such as fever and cough that are clear in the 2 or 3 weeks. For some, especially older adults and people with existing health problems, it can cause more severe illness, including pneumonia, and could lead to death. A tiger at the Bronx Zoo has tested positive for the new coronavirus in what it is believed to be the first known infection in an animal in the U.S. or a tiger anywhere. The 4-year-old Malayan tiger and 6 other tigers and lions that have also fallen ill are believed to have been infected by a zoo employee. The first animal started showing symptoms March 27th, and all are expected to recover, said the zoo, which has been closed to the public since March 16th. The finding raises new questions about transmission of the virus in animals. Officials say that this has been known in the cases of the virus in U.S. pets or livestock. Experts say that the coronavirus outbreak around the world are driven by person-to-person transmission. Hong Kong agriculture authorities concluded that pets, dogs and cats couldn't pass the virus to human beings, but this could test positive if exposed by their owners. In an effort to contribute to mitigating the effects of the coronavirus and with the suspension of many commercial activities, the Public Authority for Consumer Protection launched a Good Basket initiative in various governorates of the Sultanate. The initiative aims to provide 19 commodities in one basket. It comes in coordination with a number of commercial centres and includes specifically the wilayas that do not have branches of major shopping centres. Shamour Investment and Services Company, the investment arm of the public establishment for industrial estates Madain, has signed a partnership contract with the Ibn al-Muallim United for trade projects to manage and operate the Omani carrier application Baraka. Baraka application aims to enable Omani transporters to find job opportunities in the field of logistical transport. This application is designed by young Omani cadres and it includes a section for demand and another for display. The demand for companies and individuals wishing to transport a load from one place to another, while the display for Omani transporters, truck owners and Omani drivers in transport companies owned by Omanis. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee follows up with the work progress in a number of centres of operation management for coronavirus. 33 new confirmed cases with coronavirus COVID-19 is recorded, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 331, including 61 recoveries and 2 deaths. The death toll of COVID-19 worldwide exceeds 70,000. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.